Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Planescape Torment. Alright, so I accidentally clicked off the message, and when I talked to him again, I got this. Hey, please don't kill me! Phineas shrieks and jumps, startled. He looks at you as if he expected someone else. Oh, thank the powers, it's only you. Don't kill you? Are you in some sort of trouble? He swallows hard and looks about. The cranium rats, it seems they are determined to rid Sigil of my presence. I have performed my duties at the for Vermin and Disease Control too diligently. What are you talking about? Earlier today, I found a large specimen of rat here at my very office. I captured the creature and took it downstairs into the basement to deal with it. His eyes grow wide and his breathing becomes labored. Before my very eyes, it grew into a huge man-sized creature and said it was sent to kill me for my crimes against the cranium rats. What did you do? I ran for my very life. Praise the powers I made it back up here to my shop. I locked the door behind me. I'm certain the creature is trapped down there. He stares at you and then his eyes begin to move along your many scars. He meets your gaze again. Slay the creature for me. I'll make it worth your while. Okay. What'll you give me if I do? Incidentally, I did not get through very many of the rat tail selling things. He thinks for a moment, then smiles. I'll pay you 200 copper commons to rid my basement of the vile beast. Alright, I'll do it. He smiles and gives you a slight bow. Excellent, here's the key to my basement. Take care of the beast, and then I shall pay you.
Updated my journal.
Good as done.
Nope.
Done.
And down we go. Hi there, were-rat. Guess what? You're gonna be murdered. Wow, it didn't have a skull.
Done.
The container is locked.
Forced it.
Alright, got some bandages, needle and thread, and,
What's the word? Good as done.
take the junk. Don't know why I'm taking all the junk. I really don't. Let's go ahead and put those there. Let's see. So now I've got 3 of these. Maybe it is worthwhile using one now. I need to find who I can sell these to. That is a bracelet. Apparently, I cannot wear bracelets. Yeah, let's go ahead and use one of these now. Alright, let's see. Sadistic Frame invokes Pain Mirror. When used, this item causes an attacker to feel the same pain and hurt that he has inflicted upon the user. Ooh. Seems like it's a one-use item, though. Club of Nettles, 1-6. Crushing damage causes confusion. +2 to hit. Usable only by thieves. This club seems to be made from some sort of prickly plant. Small thorns adorn the head of the club and can easily be broken off. This particular club is one of the more favored weapons of thieves. Upon making a successful hit on an opponent, tiny barbed thorns lodge into the skin and cause the victim to become disoriented for a brief period of time. This allows the thief time to safely rob and escape the victim. Bone Dagger, 1-6 piercing damage. It says enchanted +1, +1 piercing damage. So why doesn't that get included up here in the damage? +1 to hit. The blade of this dagger seems to be made from the bone of some creature. The edge of this blade is extremely sharp. So yeah, that does more damage. It's going to do more damage than that, so I could sell that. Oh, well, that's the exact same thing. Whatever. Magus Guard, armor class 6, weight 2, usable only by mages, considered standard equipment for any adventuring mage. Bracelets such as these can be found across the plains. Judging by the markings on this particular bracelet, it appears to have been made in a style quite common in Sigil. Various glyphs of warding are meticulously carved along the surface, producing an almost hypnotic effect when looked at. When worn, this bracelet protects the wearer from normal attacks as if they were wearing scale armor. I would not mind that. Gaudy ring, a ring of the traveler, +1 to armor class. These rings are quite common across the plains, simple to make, and in great demand. Mages usually create these items as a way to raise quick money. This particular ring has a minor enchantment on it that protects the wearer from harm. Yeah, I mean, that's basically a ring of protection +1. Well, let's go ahead and get our armor class down some more. Do you have anything that I want to identify? No. And I still can't identify that. Alright. Yeah, so we'll definitely want to keep this around. Basically braces of protection. Probably would equip there then. Alright. That's Phineas's key.
All right.
Nothing else in there. Alright, let's go. You see Phineas. He looks at you over the rim of his spectacles. Once again you grace me with your presence. You have completed the task I set before you. Yes, the creature is dead, and I've come for my reward. Phineas smiles at you. This is excellent news indeed. What was the reward I promised you? 200 copper commons. Thank you for your services. I am in your debt. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
You say anything else? Ah, my friend, what is it I can do for you this time, You didn't jump out of your skin when I came in this time. He sighs and then smiles at you. After your heroic deed, I feel at ease. I must admit that I have not felt so relaxed in years. He pauses to think for a moment. I thank you for that. Now, what can I do for you? And yeah, I think that I'm going to go sell these at a shop. Also need to find someone that I can sell these rings to.
Come in, Basher. Look here, the finest Toledo blade.
Hey, watch, Chief. Just look natural. Casual.
Alright. I think this is the only guy that, yeah, but he won't buy the bronze rings. That is disappointing. I'll sell that. Sell all of those. Sell all of those. There we go. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to find someone else to sell those. I think I could sell those to, the midwife. I think that's who I can sell those to. Let's see, does that lead me back to the, I think that does lead me back to the, alley.
Try these spices, sir. Oh, you can just taste them all over here.
Hello? Alright, so, greetings, stranger. You've chosen a auspicious day to pass through our lands. The toll will be a mere 10 coins. That's outrageous. It's a mere 10 coppers. It's our territory. I'm sure you knew this was no place for weaklings. You walked into it of your own free will. Now you pay the price. One way or another, copper or blood. What'll it be? Blood! We're gonna murder you. I was wondering why they weren't, aggressive. Ow.
What's up?
Mort, you go after that one. You go after that one. Alright, you want some of this too?
Damn it.
I'm not afraid of you guys anymore. Oh, look, another contender.
I'm gone.
Yep, you want some of this too? I got more where that comes from. Just slaughtering thugs. Wait, are we seriously full up on equipment? Oh, we are. Oh no.
Yeah.
For some reason, you just weren't willing to pick them up.
Huh?
Ow! That hurt. Rude.
Done.
Hello. Do. Quite a few of there. Quite a few of you out here. Nah, not gonna take the rusty knife. Ooh, wow, 1,000. I must have just killed a... Oh, Crystal. Ah, I killed their leader.
Damn.
Well, hopefully there wasn't anything special about them.
What?
You go ahead and hand something over to him. Take that. Let's go ahead and use these.
Done.
Hello! I might have been able to get something out of them, I suppose. Already searched that. Can't go up there, alright. I already went in here, so... Yep. Well, we have slaughtered all of the thugs. There's a smoking ashpit. Gutters briefly in the light breeze. Burnt out building.
I'm gone.
Is there anything over here? No. Ruined cathedral, tent, burnt building. Yep, alright. So nothing else. Oh, well, actually there's a little bit over here. Black Rose, hello! This man moves with a frightening speed, and he seems only half there. His eyes burn out of his haze, and their madness pierces your heart. You, his voice is like a blast of cold air. Declare your allegiance. Do you hold for good or evil? I believe in aiding those less fortunate than myself. I choose good. There's a man named Rotten William. He is a dark and deceitful man. He is the leader of the Dark Alley Shivs. Find him in this alley and slay him, and you will serve the cause of goodness. Fail, and evil shall rise. Refuse, and I shall slay you. Well, he's already dead. I have killed both him and Crystal. Ooh, 1,500 experience points. We establish our philosophies now. A contest of arms. The winner is the true victor in our struggle for truth. You really are mad, aren't you? Oh, alright. You go ahead and use your special power. Why was that 2? Well, we'll see how that goes.
Stupid yabo.
Did he succeed? I think he succeeded. Yeah, he did.
What's the word, Chief?
Not sure why there's a 2 there.
I'm hurt.
Don't gonna bone, you witless ape.
Ow. Let's go ahead and use these. There we go. Now we're talking.
Damn it.
Badly injured. Hey, don't be doing damage to my head. All we get is a clot charm. Well, and 420 experience points. Suppose I shouldn't sneeze at that, but still.
All right.
Well. So was Crystal supposed to be good? Is that what was the case? Well. Actually, let's go back up this way. Well, we've just, you know, slaughtered all the entire populace of a whole section of town. It's fine, right? I don't see anything wrong with it. Alright, let's see. Don't see anyone around here immediately. This looks like it leads... this gate looks like it leads to the mortuary area.
Done.
Yeah, we have not really talked to one of you who's awake. Let's go ahead and do that. Hello! Much as this creature's body is a combination of man and ram, his head is a mix of sorts, with a broad flat nose, goat ears, and a pair of curling horns. Intricate designs are shaved into his dirty pelt, and a massive four-flanged polearm hangs from his belt harness. He doesn't seem to notice you. Greetings! He turns to face you with startling speed, his eyes dark and suspicious of you. His voice is deep and rumbling, not quite human, and heavily accented. What do you want, two legs? His hand is close to his polearm. Only to speak with you. I had some questions. He seems to calm down. His hand drops away from his weapon. He still keeps a certain distance from you, however. What do you wish to ask me? Why were you so wary of me? He seemed sad for a moment. This place, a wretched, unclean hive of scum and villainy, is full of unfriendly, sometimes desperate people. Not the best place for a visiting barrier, two legs. He shrugs. I have business here, though, and so here I am. Visiting? You do not live here? Barrier shakes his head, laughing. No, two legs. No barrier could live like this. Where are you from? From the plains of Isgard, two legs. They are my home. He smiles in fond recollection, as if warmed by the memory. What sort of business were you here for? Another time, two legs. If we ever meet in a happier place, I shall tell you all about it. Well, let me ask you something else then. Tell me about the city. He is silent for a moment, as if waiting for something more from you. What about the city? We know that stuff already. I'm missing a journal. Have you seen one, or do you know where I might find one? He simply shakes his head. No, two legs. Nothing like that. Alright. Most of the other stuff we've already, learned. Hi, guys. You wanna... No? No? You don't wanna... Alright, let's go in here. A small dwelling.
All right.
This seems a lot larger than a small dwelling. I'm just gonna, you know, put that out there. A lot larger than the other small dwellings that we've encountered. Moving from box to box, this man seems to be totally immersed in counting boxes and scribbling results down on a piece of parchment. He looks annoyed as you interrupt him. What is it now? Can't you see I'm busy taking inventory? Go bother someone else. Oh. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was told to deliver this box to you. Well, why didn't you say so in the first place? Let's see what you got for me. I'm sure it'll need to be inventoried. Mar told me to give this to you. As you hold the box out for him to take, Quatra's expression turns from one of interest to that of intense horror. No, please, get it away from me! I don't understand. Why are you afraid of this box? I said, get back! Death, evil! Had to do Mar. Couldn't take it anymore. Please, take to Braskin. Live southwest. Hive. Me. No! Apparently the sight of the box is just too much for him as he runs screaming from the building. Wait, what am I supposed to do with... So Braskin, huh?
Updated my journal.
Well, hey, I got some experience. Well, yeah, no, I mean, I can kind of understand it. I've opened it myself in alternate continuities.
Done.
This ash-covered tree looks like it has suffered greatly since it was transplanted here. Looking for any non-generics, like July. You see a thin man with stained clothes, a hooked nose, and 2 stubby horns jutting from his forehead. He is stumbling about and muttering to himself. He stinks of brine, vomit, and cheap wine. Ah, are you July? If so, Craddock needs you back at the marketplace. Craddock? The man's eyes widen. Ah, Craddock me, Genres boss. Well, you can tell him this. He can pike off, and that he is a filthy dog, a cur of the lowest sort. And July's not out working for him anymore. He jabs you with his finger. Tell him that. I'll tell him farewell, July. Okay.
Come on inside. Come see the Burning Man.
Come see the Burning Man. Oh.
You'll love it. You, sir, come on in.
I have come on in. These vents blow incredibly hot air up from the furnaces below. Hello, Drusilla. Who are you? This is a woman with fading bruises on her face and arms and a look of despairing longing in her sunken eyes. She might have been pretty once, but those days were long ago. She turns slowly to face you. Life pours into her features, and the spark of sardonic light that dances in her eyes now makes you wonder if your eyes were deceiving you. Welcome to the Smoldering corpse-scarred man. Who are you? I am Drusilla, and you must be clueless. Don't ask me how I know that. It just shines off of you. Shines, right. Answer some questions for me. No, sort of. She's kind of accurate there. Aye, traveler. What is it you seek? Looking for a journal. Do you happen to have seen it? A journal? Oh, sure. I've kept an eye out for all stray journals. Just in case some scarred man walks into my favorite bar and starts asking about it. Do you ask that of everyone you meet? What a fascinating life. Well, yeah, actually, kind of do. You have a smart mouth on you, don't you? Aye, a smart mouth for a smart head. I ain't the addle cove you might think, sod. I got a brain in me. If you're so smart, you should be able to answer my questions. Aye, traveler, what is it you seek? What can you tell me about this place? Here, this is the Smoldering corpse, though the person smoldering ain't dead yet. He's just keeping himself alive till someone comes along to help him out. Sods who like to see people in pain come here. Fiends like it. Folks who don't much care for being bothered come here, too. The name alone keeps out most of the Burks. Well, who is he, anyway?
Updated my journal.
The despair you saw on her face before flits across it again like a black-winged shadow before she masters herself. That's Ignis, one of the greatest wizards ever to come out of this slummy excuse for a cesspool. Oh, did he turn himself into a fire lich? Okay, so fire liches don't actually look like that. They caught him and they opened a channel to the plane of fire through him, and now he's just a doorway for it, keeping himself alive by force of will alone. If someone could douse him for a few moments, it'd give him his life back again, but they don't make enough water to do that. What's your connection to him? Her voice practically throbs with a deep ache. I was Ignis's lover, and he my beloved. He loved the flame more than me, and now he has become the flame. And because I love him, I love the flame. But that's all... Pardon me? But that's all done with now. Now I wait for him to douse himself. I sell what little I have just to be near him. Okay, you can answer some other questions then. And I apparently forgot to start my timer. Who is that burning by the entryway? That's the same thing. That's too bad. Farewell. Alright. Hold on real fast. It is almost time to end the episode. so we got a little bit of time to talk
gone.
to some people here. Kandrian. You see a soft-looking man with gentle, far-staring eyes. He dresses in simple leather clothing and carries various implements of use and destruction about his body, such as ropes, spikes, tinderboxes, and empty vials of air. He looks half gone, literally. There's an insubstantiality to his existence, as if his essence has been partially leached away. He focuses those eyes on you, and suddenly you find them gripping and determined. Greetings to you, O Seeker. Greetings! He carefully sets down the mug he's holding and gives you all of his attention. I have seen the far reaches of the multiverse and returned to tell the tale. Ah, but have you seen star beasts? Seriously. I have walked upon the bodies of dead gods and spun moonbeams in the astral ahead of 1,000 shrieking Githyanki knights. I have passed the edges of existence and watched my essence shiver away before me. What is it I can do for you? Well, have you been to Athos? No? Psh. You haven't been places. I had some questions for you. Perhaps I have answers for you. Speak, and I shall tell you. I met a woman named Ingress with very bad teeth. She said she had come through a portal from some world that was opened by a tune hummed near 2 crossed trees. Can you get her home? Ooh. Who are you? I am Kandrian Ilborn, traveler, dreamer, talespinner, and so forth. Well, tell me of the plains. I am tired, Seeker, so tired. I am fresh back from negation. I will answer what I can for you, but I cannot promise that you will find satisfaction of the answers I give. What would you know? Would you hear of the outer planes, the prime material, or the inner planes? Oh, well, tell me about the prime material. You want to know of the prime? Visit it. The boundless worlds of that plane have an infinite variety, as do the planes, but I cannot encapsulate them as I have here. Suffice it to say, they are the birth of the outer planes, and the children of the inner, and they hold limitless potential within their boundaries. Oh, tell me more of the planes. Tell me the outer planes. Now, the outer planes, where should I start? Do you know the cardinal rules of the planes, which all others are based? Do you know about the composition of the outer planes? Do you know of the Great Ring and its divisions in our hearts? Do you know of the individual planes? Each of these leads to the next, and so it is best to start from the beginning. Well, yeah, I have the Planescape box set downstairs. Tell me the composition of the planes. This is not going to be a 5-minute conversation like I thought it might. The outer planes are created of and by belief and thought and faith. They take their imagined form from the prime material plane, shaped into forms that stagger the imagination, built by the accumulation of belief. Belief creates the planes. Belief is power here. Change belief and you can change the nature of reality. The creatures that are born here, the plane-born, like the fiends and celestials, are truly born of the thoughts and concepts of mortals. They each express some sort of ideal, and more powerful the ideal, the more powerful the being. Thus, the being that symbolizes love is one of the strongest of all. Go on. That's why the powers, gods some call them, live out here. This is where all faith in them comes. But they don't all live out here. Some live on the inner plane, some live on the prime material plane. Some live on the astral, some live on the ethereal. I think that you haven't actually been everywhere, sir. This is where they are at their most pure and most strong. Their realms are extensions of their very beings, manifestations of their godly essence, all of it informed by belief. So the composition of the planes is belief. Tell me of the Great Ring now. Among the loose unity of planewalkers, we conceive of the infinite outer planes as a ring surrounding the plane of ultimate neutrality, the Outlands, or concordant opposition. The spire atop which Sigil sits is at the center of the Outlands. The further one travels away from the spire, the less neutral the plane grows until it spills into the neighboring planes. Each of these planes impinges on the Outlands, spinning themselves into law and chaos, good and evil. The Great Road marks the demarcation between the Outlands and the great gate towns that spring up around the gates to these planes. Beyond the gate towns lie the hinterlands, uncharted territory that is lost to history, that loses thought. Danger lies in the hinterlands. I've watched that show. It's pretty good. Go on. The outer planes differ by morality, not substance. For you, we'll divide the planes into 3 sets. The upper planes of good, the lower planes of evil, and the boundary planes of neutrality. These are then divided further by law and chaos, with the Outlands in the middle. Which of these interest you? Tell me about the upper planes. Of the upper planes, there are the neutral planes, the lawful planes, and the chaotic planes. What would you know? Neutral planes? The neutral upper planes contain the Beastlands, a place of neutrality and goodness with a slight tinge of chaos, where the animals rule in the eternal noon and night. They hold Bitopia, twin paradise of industry and labor, where all work toward the good of all, and Elysium, the sweetest plane of goodness and calm I have ever come across. Alas, right now I am not well enough to enjoy any of their restorative effects. What would you hear of now? Tell me of the rest of the upper planes. Tell me of the lawful planes. Kandrian gives you a small shudder. I am not the best person to speak of the planes of law, he says, for the innate structure of and ultimate patterns they impose frighten me. I steer clear of them because I value my individuality more than I value the knowledge they'll bring me. They include regimented Arcadia, nearest of the good planes to the unbending order of Mechanis, and Mount Celestia, home of the Archons, an island in the Silver Sea. Tell me the rest of the upper planes and the chaotic planes. These are where I feel at home, though I steer clear of Isgard for the most part. The endless battles and tests of metal among the floating earthbergs of the plain don't do much for my disposition. Arborea, though, he sighs. The mountains are taller, the air clearer, the rivers purer, and the game larger than anywhere else. It is a true paradise, a place where passions run high and the wine never ceases to flow. Are you a Bacchae? Nah, they're chaotic neutral, never mind. When I have recovered enough of my wits and myself, when we have done with the outer planes, you should ask me of the inner, and I will describe my journey to you. I will return to Arborea's bowers and glades and lose myself for a time. Tell me the rest of the upper planes. Tell me of the lower planes. Like the upper planes, the lower planes are divided into lawful, chaotic, and neutral. Each of them varies in terms of horrors and what those horrors do to a traveler's spirit, and all of them are best avoided. Which of them would you like to hear of? The neutral planes. The neutral planes, eh? They're vile and barely understandable, and they're more insidious on their own than you could ever imagine. Take Gehenna, for example. 4 volcanoes in stages of dormancy, floating in an infinite void, each of them somehow alive, and each of them wanting your soul by whatever means they can get it. Populated with Yugoloths, the worst of the fiends in my opinion, and you've got the place. The plane of ultimate evil, at least that's what they call it, is the Grey Waste, a no-place that drains the color from your body and spirit, stealing away even your apathy. And it's the site of the worst battlegrounds in the war down there. Don't get me started. When you've got Carcerie on the chaotic side, Well, tell me about Carcerie. Ah, Carcerie and its poisonous jungles, acid swamps, destructive waters, strung like a string of rotten pearls nestled within one another. He pauses and looks at you carefully, again fixing you in place with his eyes. Remember this, Seeker. Carcerie is a prison, home to the Geraleths, one of the most dangerous types of fiends there is. The strength of the prison is the strength of the captor. As strong as the prisoner lets it be. Destroy the prison keeper and a body can escape the red prison. There is almost no other way out, not when the gates close themselves against you and watch you spin off into the vast space surrounding the orbs. Be wary of Carcerie, traveler, for its bonds can be greater than flesh. Well, tell me about the war.
Updated my journal.
Aye, the Blood War. At the name, your blood feels as if it freezes in your veins. Ilborn doesn't seem to notice, wrapped as he is in his memories. 2 armies of fiends smashing together pointlessly across the lower plains, slaughtering mindlessly in the name of law and chaos. They'll aggrandize it, of course, but in the end it's about hate and stupid endeavor that aids none and harms far too many. Yeah, but it also kind of keeps them in check. Tell me about the rest of the lower planes. Let's go to the lawful planes. As much as I detest the order of the lawful upper planes, at least they present a modicum of goodness. Modicum of goodness? Their lower planar counterparts, though. Acheron's a place of ricocheting cubes that never see an end to battle, swarming with the souls of dead humanoids. Bator, he shivers involuntarily. Bator is a place left best avoided. Those Betazu, fiends in the corner there, are but the merest expression of the deviant corruption embodied in that soulless machine of order. If you want more, talk to them, but remember, all that is bad about bureaucracy and order originates from Bator, and it spreads like a stain across the hearts of mortals. Though there is some knowledge to be found there, it is rarely worth the spiritual rape the plane inflicts. Tell me about the rest of the lower planes. Let's go for the chaotic planes. The Abyss isn't someplace you should consider going. Where Bator's all orderly, the Abyss is full of chaos and change, and none of it's pleasant. When it becomes something that approximates normality, that's when you should be most wary of it. It's home to the Tanari, what most primes call demons, and they've got that name for a reason. They're unpredictable and murderous, and the few you can trust are few and far between. The few I have met who I'd trust, I still don't trust entirely. They're creatures of chaos and evil incarnate. And if they're putting on a friendly face, who's to say it's not part of a larger agenda? Well, some of them do occasionally go against that. Just not often. Tell me more of the planes of the Great Ring and the boundary planes. There are two boundary planes to my mind. They are diametrically opposed. One of them, Mechanis, is the very essence of law, a place where beliefs fit together, interlocking, turning in a massive machine that is the entire plane. Some folks would have it that the gears of Mechanis are the engines that drive the planes. The other plane is Limbo, a swirling morass of chaos that follows no rules, none, and just when a body thinks he's classified its behavior, it goes and changes on him, or it doesn't. You just can't tell. I was in Limbo not long ago. Well, you're not going to mention the Modrons? Oh, man, poor Modrons. I was getting the short shrift. Tell me of your journeys. He closes his eyes, remembering. I had to get the Zere guide with me, an anarch who could shape the illogical matter of the plane into forms of his desire. We had fought off the harrying of the Slotty, those chaos creatures that call the plane home. It seemed there were more than usual, but then one can never tell what's usual in Limbo. But I digress. In the midst of all this chaos, we came across a series of huge metal interlocking cubes like some sort of puzzle box. It wasn't something we had shaped, consciously or not, and we couldn't find a way inside. It was like a bastion of order within the confines of disorder, a seat of law. That is the best I can explain it. See, now I want to pull out my material on Limbo and see if I can find what that is. Tell me more of Planes of the Great Ring.
Updated my journal.
Tell me about the Outlands. The Outlands are absolute neutrality. Yeah, this is going on for a lot longer. Probably the best place for a body to visit in the Outer Planes, outside of Sigil, if you don't want to have a plane's morality forced into your heart. Everything balances out in the Outlands, as it should be, for the plane that sits at the center of the Outer Planes. Power's realms are scattered about here, and there are handfuls of gate towns that open into the rest of the Outer Planes. The gate towns usually mirror the philosophy of the plane their gates open onto, and if the balance of belief isn't kept in the town slips into the nearby plane. It's a bad situation for everyone, because few of the folks in the towns really want that change. But enough of the Outlands. What more would you know? Tell me more of the planes in general, and let's head to the inner planes. He sighs as if this reminded him of his bone-deep weariness. Think of the inner planes as a globe. On the top of the globe, you have the positive material plane. Shouldn't that be the positive energy plane? I think they got that from the wrong source. Oh, well, whatever. On the bottom, you have the negative material. He pauses. Remind me to tell you of the negative. His eyes turn inward to some private horror. From the interaction between the two springs all of the urge for existence and non-existence, death and life, actuality and nothing. From them spring the basic elemental planes. I have an issue with that description. It's the interaction between the basic elemental planes that create the quasi-elemental planes. The interaction between the basic elemental planes and the positive and negative. I don't see the four basic elemental planes as springing forth from positive and negative. They're co-equal, in my opinion. From them spring the basic elemental planes like fire, water, air, and earth, the para-elemental planes that lie between the four basic elements, and the quasi-elemental planes that come from the interaction of the four elemental planes and the positive and negative. Well, tell me about the, well, actually, let's see. Tell me about the negative material plane. His eyes cloud over. I went to the inner planes to discover my true essence. I made the mistake of visiting the negative material plane in order to understand my body's urge to decay in the cycle of death and life. I thought myself protected against the ill effects of the plane with my magic, but I was wrong. The blackness of infinite nothing pressed on my soul. That's not... Nope. That's not infinite nothing. That's vacuum. There's a quasi-elemental plane for that. Negative energy is not nothingness. It is unlife. Death. The blackness of infinite nothing pressed on my soul, and I was beset by shadows that sought to snuff out my very soul. I lost my way for a time, for an eternity, and nearly lost my existence. I could feel my essence falling away from me, and am even now half gone. Never will I return. How did you survive?
Updated my journal.
How did I survive? He smiles tightly. With a piece of nothing that held back the nothing. Nothing can stop nothing, you know, and so I carried nothing in my hand to protect me. Do you plan to journey to the ultimate negation yourself? You have the smell of desperation about you, and so I make you this gift. Hold it in your hand when the shadows press in, and it should protect you and your friends somewhat, should they remain close to you. He passes you a small black token that looks as if it has no dimensionality at all. Thanks, tell me more of the planes. Inner planes, was there anything else? Nope. And we already talked about the prime material. What did you mean by negation before? Okay, that's same thing. I see. Well, let's see. I had some other questions. I met a woman named Ingress with very bad teeth. She said she had come to a portal from some world that was opened by a tune hummed near two crossed trees. Can you get her home? He pauses briefly, thinking. I know the portal of which you speak, though I have not traveled it these 30 years gone. I will take her home, Seeker. Go tell her to await my arrival, then meet me back here, and I will tell you if I was successful or not.
Updated my journal.
Questions? What are you doing? I am fresh back from negation, okay? That's some other questions. What is this place? Unless the cosmos has shifted or we have been spun into the mazes, I would say that we're in the Smoldering Corpses Tavern. Mazes? What do you mean? Aye, the mazes where the lady dumps those who displeased her. He makes a small semicircle over his heart as he speaks the lady's name. If you'd know more of the lady in the city, find a tout or some such guide. Alright, very well, farewell. Okay, so we can head back to the Ingress and let her know that she can get home. But that will be later. See you next time, everyone.